I'd like to welcome back to the show today musician, singer, strength and conditioning coach, owner of the Tribe Gym here in San Antonio, Mr. Ed Conway. Good afternoon, my friend.
Hey Joe, how you doing? I just got back from vacation. I was down in Galveston.
I thought I hadn't seen you
Getting
downtown.
back to getting back to the real world.
Right, we got a new segment this week called Juke Box Jury, and Ed's been kind enough to join me as a fellow judge. We're going to be reviewing 3 songs. Let's get to it. Various artists, original music. The first one is by Irish singer-songwriter Enda Keegan out in New Jersey, and this is a song called One of These Days.
One of these days, one of these days, one of these days, I'll be home. One of these days, one of these days, one of these days, I'll be home. I wasn't born to be illegal. Never thought I'd run and hide. I never asked for much now, just to live a normal life. Just to wake up in the morning and hear the blackbirds sing, watching daybreak over the mountains, just a few simple things. And one of these days I will be free, living my life just how I please, watching the coast of going below. One of these days, one of these days, I'll be home. So waited up in shadow, so much racing through my mind, contemplating my decisions, all the things I'd leave behind. There was promise of great fortune and cities paved with trees. As I'm staring out the window, watching Ireland disappear. One of these days I will be free, living my life just how I please, watching the coast of going below. One of these days, one of these days, I'll be home. One of these days, one of these days, one of these days, I'll be home. One of these days, so one of these days, and before, one of these days, I'll be home. One of these days, I will be free. One of these days, how I please. One of these days, I'll be home. One of these days, one of these days, one of these days, I'll be
That was Enda Keegan, Irish singer-songwriter out in New Jersey, One of These Days. What's your views on that one, Ed?
Man, I really like it's. Easy to listen to, dude. I think vocally, I mean, there was like hints of like Robbie Williams in there, where he very true, just crisp vocal. You could tell he's got a lot of diaphragm support, and he kind of does what Robbie Williams does, where he kind of slides up into the note and slides out of it sometimes. And then the piano, it definitely was reminiscent of like a Bruce Hornsby type of a song, where it was very piano heavy. But then as it progressed, then the electric guitar came in, and later on, like at the very end of the song, there was some vocal layering, and that kind of made it a little bit more current for me, and like reminded me of that like late '90s pop rock feel, like almost like the New Radicals, where it had that vocal layering, and like I said, it brought in that electric guitar feel, so it made it a little bit more current. I liked it though. I thought it was a really easy song to listen to. Good melody, good hook.
It's got a great melody, yeah.
Yeah, it probably could have ended. They didn't need that. I didn't think that they needed that last acapella chorus line. They could probably ended it right after that first acapella chorus line. I thought that would have been a great ending, but I mean, either way, I mean that's getting really nitpicky about it.
No, fair point. I did some research into this one, and it's actually about a guy who had overstayed in America and knows that when he goes back to Ireland, he won't be able to get back in. And that's it's what it was written about. And it's from an album called The Bridge. Enda was actually the very first guest on my show. He was the first guest I had.
Really?
Yeah, he's been on the show, yeah. I just say very melodic. And I've heard his early stuff. He was in a band called Surrey Lane when he first came to America, and it's a bit more rocky. But I like the way the song. I like the way the song picks up on the way. One of these days, I will be home.
That's kind of what reminded me of like a Robbie Williams / Bruce Hornsby stuff, is a lot of their stuff starts out like that. It starts really kind of stripped down, and then as the song progresses, then it builds into this big climactic ending. And so, yeah, I liked it.
All positive stuff there, Enda Keegan.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the next song. This is by a band called Secret Man, and it's a song called Private Eye. Private Eye. That's a local band actually called Secret Man.
Local band from San Antonio?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
right off the bat, man, I couldn't help but thinking of an interview I heard Dave Grohl give about Nirvana back when Nirvana was starting. He said, anybody that thinks that we came up with our sound is wrong. They don't know anything about punk rock. We actually completely ripped it off of the Melvins, which was start really soft, chorus is really loud, verse is really soft, chorus is really loud, there's an instrumental bridge, end it with a really loud chorus. And that's exactly what this song reminded me of. It was just, stripped down bass and drums for the verse, hard rock, the guitars kicked in on the chorus, 3 verses, 3 choruses with an extra chorus out. Lots of diminished chords. I mean, I can't help but to think like this song came out in like 1989 in the punk rock era.
I was going to say it's a bit punky, but I had a little bit of Talking Heads there as well.
Yeah. Well, so vocally, I was like, man, like what does this guy sound like? Because he's very unique vocalist. Like if Dire Straits and Billy Idol had a kid, like that might be what this guy sounds like.
Do you know what? I like the mix. I like his voice too, and I like the effects he's put on his voice. It reminds me of the Buggles vocal mix on Video Killed the Radio Star.
Yeah.
I heard you Wonder Wildest back in '52.
Yeah.
No, that mix.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a bit punky.
But I think some of the best songs are simple songs, right? Like you don't need to overthink the chord progression. Although there was a lot of unexpectedly diminished chords in that song, like where I thought he was going to go with it. Or where the band was going with it, then he would add in like a diminished, feel to it. So it was like, oh, that didn't stay major the whole time right there. So, even though it was a simple song, there was some nuances about it that were unexpected that I liked. I thought that this would be like a good song to put like on a road trip playlist, just something to like, you see all your friends just kind of banging their heads in the back seats,
But as you said, it's good that they've gone back in time and created that sound for the song. Could have been released in the 80s, as you say this. It's good the way they've done that and created that effect.
Yeah.
Because it's only recent, and the lead singer's called Adam Stafford, San Antonio, and the band's called Secret Man. So, good song. I liked it. Okay, next up, we got Mr. Adam Cruz. This is a new single, actually. He's just brought this out, and it's called Why Didn't You Stay? Let's check this one out.
I was from the other side of town. You were lost and even wondering how. And in a sense you led me on, and in a sense you turned me on, and in that dress you took me home. So why didn't you stay? Lost, but I thought I was found. Lucid dreams and bedroom scenes haunt me now. And in a sense you led me on, and in a sense you gave it all, and in that dress you took me home. So
I didn't know what to do. He was quite the lovely boy.
Adam Cruz, Why Didn't You Stay? What do you think, Ed?
Man, another throwback tune. Right off the bat, I thought it was like "Pretty Woman 2" by Roy Orbison. You like just like the chromatic progression down into the minor 6 chord progression for the verses. I thought it was another cool like throwback feel to it. There was definitely hints of Roy Orbison. I also thought, like, listening to it, I used to listen to a lot of Stone Roses out of the UK back in like the 90s, and it gave me that kind of feel of like what I liked about the Stone Roses is he never really went out of his comfort zone vocally. I think his name is Ian Brown, and he just kind of stayed in a pocket, and let the music kind of evolve around him.
Yeah.
And that's what I felt like this was doing, is that vocals, I didn't feel like he ever pushed himself out of a comfort zone. He just kind of stayed in a pocket and let the music kind of surround the vocal melody. And I thought he did good use of using, those higher harmonies to compensate for that, just that mid pocket range of vocal melody. So yeah, I thought that was good. In terms of the song itself, I mean, I think the only thing that I would have liked to hear is just a little bit something more unexpected. I mean, there was that halftime break in the bridge, but even that was, you kind of like expect what was coming next. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But other than that, I thought it was a great tune, and like I said, very very throwback to the '60s. That, like, Roy Orbison, even some Beatles stuff. I like in that intro. I was like, oh, cool.
Well, there was a band from the UK called the Beautiful South in the 90s. He used to be the House Martins before, the lead singer at the House Martins. Then he formed the Beautiful South. His voice reminds me of Paul Heaton, who's the lead singer. They had a bunch of vocalists in that band, but Paul Heaton was the main guy. And it reminds me a little bit of little Elvis Costello influence maybe too.
Yeah. Totally. I could totally hear that.
And I really like the bass lines on the track. It is a very catchy song, but the bass, I love the way the bass flows on it. So you can actually, let's give Adam a little plug while we're on it. Adam Cruz actually plays downtown San Antonio Monday through Friday at Maddie McMurphy's.
Nice.
He's there 4 till 7. So any listeners, or San Antonio listeners, you can catch Adam 4 till 7, Maddie McMurphy's, Monday to Friday. And that concludes our 3 songs, my friend. Ed, thank you so much for joining us today on Juke Box Jury, our very first segment, and for your valued opinion on the 3 songs we played today. Ed Conway, everybody. Cheers, buddy.
Appreciate it, Joe.
Thank you.
Man.
Thank you.